and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, the most woke, no joking. I'm back out again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it up, Bo Biscuit. Panthers fans, this video is not for you. This video here is more for the 3 or 4 Falcons fans that I have who are actually subscribed to the channel, who like watching the Panthers content. But you know what, Falcons fans, I want to do a video for you guys because you guys deserve it. You guys, I want to give you guys a little bit of content because, you know, you guys been coming through commenting, not being all that hateful at all in the comments. So I really wanted to make a video for you guys to enjoy because, honestly, I want to make sure that I can make the kind of content for everyone to like, and I want to be a little bit more inclusive with my videos. So I want to show you guys a little image here, and I'll even do you the courtesy. Usually when I put up pictures, I put it like right beside me or whatever, and it's not really the whole screen. So sometimes you might have to go full screen if you're not already in full screen to see what the image says. I want this picture right here. Take up the whole screen for me. There's a tweet here from Pro Football Focus, aka PFF, saying that highest graded rookie wide receivers in the NFL so far this season. Now there's a graphic here. On the right side is a picture of a guy. I forgot his name. What's that guy's name again? I don't remember his name too good. But it's a picture of him. Oh wait, there's his name at the very top of the list. Oh, I didn't have to look very long to find it. His name is DJ Moore. Oh, the guy the Panthers drafted, and the guy below him is Calvin. I don't read too good. Look, I don't read too good. There's a guy below him who was drafted right after DJ Moore by a different team that wears red and black. It's a bird team that wears red and black. Is it the Cardinals? No, the Cardinals receivers below him. Oh, it's the Falcons receiver. And DJ Moore is actually rated at 5.2 points higher than Calvin Ridley. Now, I'll be the first to admit, or maybe even the second or third, because there's a lot of people who feel this way. Pro Football Focus doesn't exactly have the most crystal clear algorithm for what their grade system is. It's a little bit wonky sometimes. There are some things that make sense, and there's other rankings that they do and other kinds of stories and headlines they do that make a little bit less sense sometimes. It can be a little bit skewed to some subjective things such as the eye test, conditions and whatnot. Things that you just hate to see taken into account too when you talk about the skill of football players. But in this methodology of grading the rookie wide receivers, there's a lot more that goes into it than just the raw counting stats. Because if you look at the stats off rip, you think to yourself, wait a minute, Calvin really has much better counting stats than DJ Moore. I mean, he has, what, 27 receptions for almost 400 yards so far, 6 touchdowns with a long of 75. I mean, isn't that better than DJ Moore's 18 receptions, 281 yards, only 1 touchdown, and a long of 51? I mean, I thought that Calvin Ridley would obviously be better. But I think they take into account a lot of different things, such as drop rate, separation that they get from the corners and the secondary members, yards after catch, yards after contact, which DJ Moore has been maybe even leading the league as a whole in yards after contact. I don't know about after catch, but definitely after contact, this man is probably one of the best. Actually, now that I think about it, yards after catch has to be someone like Tyreek Hill or someone on the Chiefs, because they run a lot of screens, they run a lot of like quick passes, and the guys can get open. Maybe Adam Thielen, because this man is just disgusting. I've never seen anyone do what he does. This man just create space out of nothing. But from my understanding, Pro Football Focus takes in a lot more than just the raw stats, because look at the 2 games that Calvin Ridley had his 2 breakout games in. He has 6 touchdowns, but 5 of those touchdowns were against 2 teams with kind of poorly graded defenses, and I think PFF takes that into account. 3 came against the Saints. Now, I think we all understand what the Saints' pass defense was looking like and does look like now, but especially around week 3 of the season, I think we all understood exactly where the Saints stood as far as pass defense. You could throw for 250 yards against the Saints in the first few weeks of the season, probably the first full month of the season. I'm throwing for 300 against the Saints. He got 3 touchdowns in that game for $146, and I don't want to minimize what he did, but it was against the Saints. And he got his 2 other touchdowns of that 5 against the Cincinnati Bengals And the Bengals have a pretty good team, but their defense, I mean, around that time was not great. If you'll remember, we played the Bengals, and Cam had 4 total touchdowns. He went 15 for 24, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. So the Bengals defense wasn't exactly the highest graded at the time. Now, it may have gone up. I don't have the stats on that right now, but I think it's taken into account at that moment, at that time, what the defense was looking like, what the offense was looking like, and you have to take into account that also, it's another thing that doesn't like show up in the stats or whatever, but Calvin really gets to play with Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. I mean, if you're playing the Falcons, if you're any defense, you have to double team Julio. I mean, that's just what it is. You have to understand that Julio is going to get his 100, 150 yards a game, but it's a matter of will he get the touchdown. If you're in the red zone, you have to look at Julio. You have to spotlight him. And Mohamed Sanu is no joke either. And neither is Austin Hooper. So with Julio Jones there, and with Calvin Ridley not really having arrived at the time, you really have to leave him on an island with the DB. Because he's going to have to look. You have to say, I got to take my chances. Cover Julio. Maybe look at Austin Hooper a little bit. But Calvin Ridley is going to have his chances one-on-one a lot. But I don't want to minimize what either one of these guys have done. I don't know about 5.2 points difference. I mean, there's pretty much a big difference between all these guys. Between Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk, there's a 4-point difference. Between him and Kuti from the Texans, there's a 3-point difference. Then it gets a little tighter from there. But, I mean, both these guys look to be about the same, honestly. I think that DJ Moore and Calvin Ridley probably would have done about the same kind of numbers. So it's not really too much of a story. But it is kind of cool that PFF graded DJ Moore higher than Calvin Ridley, especially with all the comments I was getting, all the talk I was hearing, not just here, but in other places as well, about, oh man, we should have got Calvin Ridley. Look how trash we're treating DJ Moore. Look what Calvin Ridley's doing in Atlanta. Not really thinking at all about context or circumstance at all about the NFL, which is more than just numbers. But what are your thoughts on this? Falcons fans, Panthers fans, I want to hear it all. Leave it in the comments below, and you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.